On this episode, we sit down with legendary craft brewer Khun Chit from Chit Beer.
So if you're a fan of beer, curious about Thailand's uniquely weird alcohol laws, or just want to know more about Thailand's Godfather of craft brewing, you'll love this episode of the Bangkok Podcast.
Sawadee krap, and welcome to the Bangkok Podcast. My name is Greg Jorgensen, a Canadian who came to Thailand in 2001 to practice Muay Thai, but it turns out getting punched in the face hurts a lot, so I decided to start a podcast.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
And I'm Ed Knuth, an American who came to Thailand on a one-year teaching contract 20 years ago, fell in love with trying to guess the true nature of all the different Thai condiments, and I never left.
Is this vinegar going to make my mouth pucker or blow my head off from spice? I don't know.
If I even know what it is, I feel like that's a victory. All right, I want to say a quick thank you to one of our patrons, Vincent Scully, who supports us at the show shoutout level. Stick around after our interview with the owner of Chit Beer to hear why Greg will literally be putting his skin in Vincent's hands. Ooh, I don't know. That sounds a little bit creepy.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
And a huge thanks to all of our patrons who support the show. Patrons get a whole bunch of cool stuff, including our ad-free regular show a day early, behind-the-scenes photos and videos of our interviews, discounts on swag, which you can find on our website, and various other things that aren't available to regular listeners. But best of all, patrons like Vincent also get an unscripted, uncensored bonus episode every week where we riff on current events and random topics. We just finished recording this week's bonus show, and we chatted about a new luggage surcharge in Bangkok taxis, and the surprising news that Thailand will probably soon make drugs like opium and cocaine legal for medical treatment, as well as the news that early-term abortions will now be legal. Surprisingly liberal moves in a conservative, authoritarian culture. Yeah. To become a patron, head to bangkokpodcast.com/support.
Things are getting weird in the land of smiles, man.
They are, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we jump into things, we have a couple of things to go over first. Number one, this is our last show before our meetup, which is happening on Saturday, November 28th. Lots of cool people and a good number of previous guests of the show are going too. So it'll be super fun. Check out our Facebook page for all the details. And if you are in town, we hope to see you down there.
Yeah. If you're in town, you gotta go.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. Number two, shout out to our buddy Nick in Calgary. He's one of our new listeners, Ed, and check this out. I was listening to him. I grew up in Calgary, and I was emailing him back and forth. It turns out we lived about 5 blocks away from each other in the late 1990s.
Oh, wow. So, that's crazy.
Super funny. Same neighborhood in Southwest Calgary. So thanks for listening from our hometown, Nick. And number three, I'm not sure if you saw this, Ed, but I did a quick Facebook poll the other day. On last week's show, bonus show, I think, we were talking about this new measure that comes in that's requiring people to have 500,000 baht in the bank to get a tourist visa.
Yep.
Hey guys, quick note. Between the time we recorded the show and the time you hear the show, the law that this survey is based on has apparently been rescinded. So there you go. And I was talking with our buddy Joe online about this, and he didn't think it was a big deal, and I think it's a really big deal, and you were sort of on the fence. So I did a poll on our Facebook page, and I want to read the results here. Real quickly, the poll said, we want to do an informal poll here. Thailand recently stated that tourists coming into Thailand on a 60-day visa needed to show 500,000 baht, which is about 17,000 US dollars, in the bank for the past 6 months. Is that 1, ridiculous, I'll go somewhere else. 2, fair, I can deal with that. Thailand, here I come. And I said, if you choose option 1, please like this post. And if you choose option 2, please leave an angry face emoji. So the results are in. We got 16 angry face emojis. That's 16 people who are not fans of this. And 45 thumbs up.
Interesting. I wonder, I'm just curious what their reasoning is. I think if I was a young person and I was really looking forward to coming to Thailand, it would be pretty damn annoying.
Impossible. There's no way I could come. But
yeah,
maybe all the people that responded to the poll were middle-aged and had a bit of scratch in the bank. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that much money, and if you just have to show that it's in your kind of own bank, then it's not that big a deal. But yeah, for a young person, it's brutal. Yeah, again, we don't have to rehash the issue, but it sounds like the response was leaning positive then.
Yeah. And if you want, listeners, head to our Facebook page. There's some interesting comments and conversations going on the comment section of the poll.
Yeah.
So check that out. And thank you very much, everyone, for responding. That was really interesting. Alrighty then. Well, on this episode, we are honored to be joined by someone who is a legend in his particular industry. You might not know the name Wichit Saiklau, but you may well recognize his more common nickname. We are, of course, talking about Khun Chit of Chit Beer, Thailand's original and definitely most well-known craft beer brewery. Khun Chit manages his empire from the island of Godfather, which is in Nonthaburi province, just north of Bangkok, where he serves up a rotating stock of home-brewed beers, everything from creamy stouts to pale ales to raspberry wheat beers. Khun Chit also offers brewing classes in Thai and English, don't you know, which sends a new batch of graduates off into the world every few weeks to brew their own concoctions, many of which are then offered at Chit Beer's awesome open-air pub later on. So that's where I met him for this interview, where I was joined by our good friend and beer aficionado Scott Coates to hear his story, talk about beer in Thailand, and pour ourselves a nice cold stout at 11 a.m., which was very enjoyable. So here is our interview with Khun Chit. All right, everyone. Well, we're up here sitting in a really unique location, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. We also have someone on the show who many of you have probably heard about and who I'm very, very happy and psyched to have as a guest on the show, Khun Wichit. I'm sorry, I already forgot your last name.
It's okay. Wichit Saiklau.
Wichit Saiklau. Everyone probably just knows you as Khun Chit.
Yeah.
From the very...
Or Pichit.
Or Pichit.
Yeah.
From the very, very famous Chit Beer. Welcome to the show, sir. It's great to have you on.
Thank you, and glad to be here.
Yeah. Now, you probably surmised, listeners, that we're close to the river because you can hear the long-tail boats in the background. Right now, we're sitting at Chit Beer on the island of Godfather, which is in northern Bangkok in the province of Nonthaburi. And we are looking over the river, and we are enjoying a wonderful glass of stout.
Corn milk stout.
Corn milk stout.
Corn milk stout.
Corn milk stout. It's even better. At 11 a.m. So we're off to a good start. I'm also here with my good friend Scott Coates, host of the Talk Travel Asia podcast and sometime co-host of the Bangkok podcast. How's it going, Scott?
Swaddy crap. It's going great because rode the bicycle up here, and I like a stout if it's morning drinking. And we gave it away, but it is not yet noon. But this is a tasty Porn's milk stout, and happy to be joining you guys and meet Khun Chit and learn more
nice
about
to
him.
meet you too, Scott. Yeah.
I never understood the rule around drinking in the morning. I never thought it was a big deal. I don't understand why people get so uptight about it.
I think it's stupid law.
Well, Khun Chit, I think your story is quite well known. And let me summarize it, but tell me if I'm wrong. I think you were in the Thai army.
Yes.
You went to America.
Yes.
And you sort of learned how to brew your own beer there.
I think I just know that you can make beer at home. They call home brew, but I never brew in the US.
Oh, okay. So you just learned about it in the US.
I heard about it because when I was in Atlanta, my friend picked me up and we go to like a RCA. We call Buckhead in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And on the way back, he always stopped by his apartment and opened up his homebrew bottle.
Oh,
so
nice.
I know since 1996 that people can make beer at home.
Right on. So then you came back to Thailand and
Yes.
you said, I want to make my own beer.
Yes,
Thailand.
one day I dream of. So I think I dream of when I retire from the army.
Yeah.
Maybe, but and I remember that the reason that I want to brew beer just to kill the loneliness. So I don't have anything to do after retire. So if I make beer, friends gonna come over. Or if you guys have party, you need to invite Chit. Remember that Chit hot beer?
That's a really smart way to do it. I should have thought of that when I was lonely with no friends and younger. How do I get people to invite me to their parties? Beer is the answer.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I used to hang around with a bunch of drama nerds. No one drank beer, so I guess I had to be a good actor if I wanted to go to the party. So you eventually wound up with this wonderful sort of iconic brewery on Godfather. How did you get here? Tell us a little story about how you founded this place.
I would like to say upfront that it's just by chance. Other than dreaming of making beer for myself one day, but I got another dreams. I would like to have a small house on the riverbanks. So actually, after I graduate, I've been looking for river house for 7 years.
Uh-huh.
And then one day I met my old friends and we update many things because never met for 20 years. And the last thing that he said, hey Chit, I got a house on Cocklet and I leave it empty for 4 years.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That was
and that's by accident.
that's super lucky.
You're super lucky. So I think next day I jump on the boat and cross the river and looking for his house. Not this one, but the white one next to here.
Oh, okay, just down there.
Yeah. So after I saw that house, I call him and hey, let me rent. And so he let me rent that house in year 2012.
2012. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Once you got the house, what you gonna do with the house?
Well, because you're on Cockret, there's not a lot to do up here. There's no movie theaters or there's no
No, nothing.
discos or anything like that.
Yeah. So by that time, we come for staying over the weekends. We do kayaking around the island. We do painting. Yeah, look at that painting. Yeah, that's the
a
early
nice
day.
painting.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's the early days. So, but then I got my high school old friends and I asked him, do you think what should I do with this house? And he said, hey Chit, how about you making beers because you dream of after I came back from the US, we go camping at Khao Yai and I'm talking about making my own beer one day and he still remember 6-7 years ago and he still remembers. So actually that's year 2012, right?
Yeah.
But actually I discover homebrew 2011.
Okay.
I searching playing on the internet and I saw a brewing kits on Amazon.com.
Yeah.
They call Mr. Beer brewing kits.
From where?
From America?
From US, yeah.
Okay.
So I ordered the brewing kits from Mr. Beer in 2011. Actually, I blew my first batch on my my condo.
Oh yeah.
The other size, 2011. The first 2 batch you cannot drink because I forgot to put the yeast in. So actually, I failed 2 batch. And I got the house in 2012 here. And I bring my last batch on the island and it works.
It's the magic of the island.
Exactly. And it's the magic of number 3.
That's right. Third time's the charm.
Yeah, third time's the charm. Yeah.
It's funny. You ordered from Mr. Beer, and now a lot of people think of you as Mr. Beer of Thailand.
In just 9 years, right?
8 years, yeah.
Quite a short
Yeah,
time.
8 years, yes.
So you started brewing after your condo. You
Yes.
started brewing it in this, what is now the bar. Is this where you started
No,
to
I
make
blew
beer?
on that White House.
Oh, the White House,
Yeah,
just
the White
over
House,
here.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I blew there. And I remember I opened my first batch on 23rd of Sunday, 23rd of December 2012. The temperature that time is about 18 degrees.
Wow.
Oh,
And
cold winter.
and we drink a beer and I invite probably about 6-7 people. And after he has his first sip of the beer and he said, hey Chit, are we now at Bavaria, Germany?
Right.
Yes. I think I always that's the moment, you feel the feedback, you feel the happiness of the people close to you, your inner friends circle,
Right.
and that make your heart, growing.
Totally.
And I think it never stopped after that. I think
It's
that's
very
the moment.
rewarding for you, right?
Yes, exactly.
So I don't want to dwell on this too much, but there are some quite well-known laws in Thailand that prevent or make it very difficult for people to start their own breweries. How have you dealt with that over the years?
As all we know that there's a war and multiple wars. Making beers, illegal. That's the first war.
Right.
And now telling the story about your beer or selling beer is also illegal. And that's another war.
Cannot have a Kosana, an ad, or any promotional material at all.
No, but start with making beers. I think the law is nonsense. So the way to do that, I think, I will break it. But when you break it, you need to be small and nimble.
I see.
And that's my strategy. So if you fight for changing that law, look at yourself. It's just a small, and you need a lot of power. And I don't know how many powers that you for changing something. So I choose another approach. I thought when you're changing the rules, changing law, you need a power. But when you're changing yourself, changing people, no need. So I choose that approach. I change myself and then I change people one person at a time. Teach them how to brew beers.
Right.
And when you feel that, yes, I can make beer. And I think you feel power is in your hand. And then you propagate that feeling. And then I think when we do that long enough, when we have more people, I call the army of brewers. And then I'm waiting for external factors, maybe the trends, the mega trends, and I think change going to be easy.
I think a lot of people can identify with that because when anyone who has ever taken on a project, podcasting, doing a long bike ride like Scott, you've done many long bike rides, something that you want to learn and improve and share the joy with others. It's a very rewarding experience. And when more people start to see through your eyes about why you get such joy out of it, then it can sort of, like you said, propagate.
Yes.
So there's two elements actually here. Right now we're sitting in your bar restaurant. There's a great view across the river, but you also have a school that teaches people how to brew beer. And that's where the education comes.
That's the education I've been teaching for 7 years. I graduate about 1,000 people a year. So that means 7,000 people already.
Wow.
And some of them making themselves to be the school for teaching others. And now I think I estimate we have about 50,000 or almost 100,000 brewers over Thailand.
In the army of beer.
Yeah, the army of beer.
50 to 100,000
Yes, exactly.
brewers.
Quietly brewing for themselves.
That's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we start from none, and then now we are growing.
Well, I think the result is obvious because I've been in Thailand for 20 years. Scott, you've been here a bit longer than that. Mm-hmm. You've been here a lot longer than that. But craft beer and home brewing has exploded in popularity over the past 5, 6, 7 years. So it's obviously not going away. It's obviously craft beer is something that everyone loves and is incredibly popular in Thailand. I guess you were a part of that.
Yeah, I think because of it smells good. It's tasty.
Yeah.
It's difficult to beat.
Yeah, exactly. So how does your school operate? What can you walk us through the process? Can anyone join? How does it work?
Yes, and anyone join. So I delegate my time for the weekends. Thai on Saturday, English on Sunday.
Oh, fantastic. Wow.
Yeah.
So you're teaching today after we finished
exactly.
talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got one group of students coming.
So we've got a hard out. We're not done by 11:45.
How long is the
We have to
class?
pound these beers.
You need to come for actually you need to book, but sorry, I'm not quite responsive to the messages in inbox because too many messages. And so normally when you show up, normally you come to drinks and you like it, and you see I teach other people, and you sign up. So when you come to Ireland, you sign up but the backlog is about 3 months. So now it's full book by the end of this year.
Wow.
Okay. But that's on Saturday. And then I leave Sunday for foreigner and VIP.
Okay.
Normally they come in so they can jump on Sunday.
I see.
So Sunday still have a slot left.
Okay.
And then after you book, you need to come 2 days. The first day we call the brewing workshop, brewing session. Takes about 5 to 6 hours.
Okay.
We start from 1 p.m. So we teach and we brew, we matching and we let it ferment for 1 week. And so next Saturday, students have to come back for bottling.
Oh wow.
Oh, you bottle it after just 1 week.
Yeah. Just another 2 hours. And then you come third week to pick up your beer. The beer is your 50 bottles.
50 bottles of beer.
Yes, 50 bottles of beer.
So it has rewards.
Yes, that's and it's your beer. It's your beer. And I charge 7,500 bahts per groups. So you can come in 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
Once you book my slot and it's yours,
So
it's your time.
You book the slot, not for the person.
And you get 50 beers with that
You 50
slot.
beers and you come as a group. Doesn't matter.
That's fantastic. What kind of beers do you make? And what I see a little display plaque here with some barley and seeds and things in it. What type of ingredients do you use?
I have 4 choice. Like I start from simple Kolsch, Vienna Lager, Pale Ale, and Amber Ale. But I tell my student that don't worry which style because we learn the process.
Yeah.
And then after that, I have about 20, 30 recipe. So you can repeat the process with different types of beer.
Interesting.
Do you sell beer and have what is now one of the better known craft beer bars in the greater Bangkok area? Do you do it because you love to share and sell the beer, or are you doing it more because you really have an ultimate goal of change and social change and change in the laws, or is it a bit of both?
I think it's a little bit of both, but for the sake of second reason, because I would like to demonstrate that I make beer. I teach them how to brew beer. I selling beer. So I break everything just to be the example, right? Lead by example.
Exactly.
And actually, I want them to copy me. I want everybody to copy me, so we can make a dance on.
You get enough
chain.
people, enough momentum that it tips.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
once you make beer, normally within 2 months, you're gonna bring some sample after you make your own.
Sure.
For me and many brewers, normally they hang around at the bar in the afternoon, and they give you the feedback. And then you adjust again, and then they all, it's good beer. After that, this is the marketplace. You can bring your beer to selling here.
Oh, you can sell your beer here.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
This is a
wow.
marketplace as well to test that you are valuable in the market.
Oh, that's great.
But after you selling your beer here, you serving beer, you make other people happy, and then you fly off the island. That's how I send one by one out
Fly.
the island. Yes.
Like your little birds. You're letting them go.
Let them go. And then they make some name, some noise, and I heard about them maybe 6 months later, 1 year later, and I go check them out. Wow,
They're doing good.
they're doing good, and
That's
that's the most important thing.
So you're like
that,
the proud teacher
yes,
standing in the back of the bar with a little
that's
tear.
mean that seed, works.
Yeah.
You get voted off the island, sent off the island at the end of your...
Literally sent off the island. This is a very good stout that we're having right now.
Is this from one of your students, this Porn's milk stout?
This our beer.
That's your
So,
own beer.
It's easy. When you see the names of the beer, any name that doesn't have the slash in front, that means that's in-house beer. So when the student bring their beers, they're gonna have
The
a
slash
name
at the
tag.
beginning means it's someone else's
it's
beer.
someone else, yeah.
All right.
And normally they're gonna come on Sunday.
So I think you're lucky though. You're trying to make social change, but it's an interesting thing. Beer. Most people like beer. Like you said, it brought your 7 friends together. If you were trying to change the laws with an electric plant, it's not as exciting as beer. You can invite someone to have a beer and help convert them to your army over a beer.
So beer like something from heaven, is an object for me to speak out or to demonstrate some principle that I think I believe in.
This is something that Anthony Bourdain was very famous for. The guy who had the famous TV food show, the Cookie the Chef.
Okay.
And he would say he would travel the world for his TV show. And he said, it doesn't matter what country you're in, what language you speak, where you come from, what religion you are, how old you are. Everyone loves to sit around a table and eat food. And that also applies to beer, I think, right? It doesn't matter what country you're in
Exactly.
or what your background is. Everyone likes to sit around, have good conversation. And most people love to do it with beer.
Yes, yes. And then after we have beer as a lube oil, and then we're talking something else.
Social lubricant.
Social lubricant, yeah.
Yeah. So Scott and I sometimes go on rides together. And a few weeks ago, I was here with some other friends of mine. We rode our bicycles from Sapantaksin up to Gokret, which is a wonderful ride. And the best part of the day is when we get off our bikes and park them right over there and then come here to Chit Beer for a post-ride beer.
Let's do a reward.
Or 5, yeah, right. Luckily, we have transportation back home because I don't think we could ride our bikes home. But every time I've come here, and it's especially obvious now during the pandemic, your place has been packed, always full. Will there reach a point where you have to pull back a little bit, or are you already operating at 100% capacity?
I think that's all I can do. Maybe it's too busy, and I try to accommodate and expand, and that's why I rent that Chapaya boat.
Oh, there's
You
a
can
boat.
sit on top of the roof of the boat. Is that
It's
your
a
seating?
floating bar. So
A floating bar?
Yeah, floating bar.
Holy crap.
And it fit about 50 people on the rooftop, and yeah, because that boat, it parking for nothing for 3 years, and I say I want that boat. You fix everything, repainting, and I will rent it just for parking.
Seating, yeah. It's good.
And now I add 50, 60 more seat into the capacity here, and I don't know what else I can do.
This is. But you've opened a new bar. You're involved in Mitter, a new bar.
Now, the process of getting the legal license, making beers now, after 4 years actually, now we got it.
And this is way up in Nonthaburi, is it?
It's Pakret. It's about 1 kilometer.
in Pakret.
Yeah, Pakret. In Pakret, and that's become our plan B. So that means not only seed, beer is very difficult to have a craft beer served on Sunday because it's mostly gone by Saturday.
Yeah.
So we don't have enough capacity to making beer, but now we got the real brewery. So I think in the future we can get.
So it's a brewery bar location. You're trying to get the license to open as a bar soon.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Nice. Congratulations.
It's a brew pub. Thank you.
Brew pub.
It's a brew
All right.
pub. Yes.
So Khun Chit, imagining 5 years into the future in Thailand, maybe even 10 years, what does the brewing picture look like when you see your country and the ability to brew your own beer legally and hopefully sell it? What do you think it looks like in 5 years?
I think what it look like, I call the dream of OPOP. One brewery, one province, one brewery.
The OTOP.
Yeah, OPOP. OPOP.
Opa, that's great.
OPOP. Right? Okay.
That's I think, and not many people knew that the law changed, and to get the brew pub license, it's not that difficult as previously.
Oh,
Yes, because actually it's not about the alcohol license, but it's about the factory license. If the law is conflict themselves, any factory that you have the machine more than 5 horsepower, you need to get the factory license.
Oh.
But now they expand to 50 horsepower. So most brew pub only 20 horsepower. You don't need to get that license. because that license gonna conflict to the city plan. That's
Nice.
that's the problem previously that take me 4 years. But now when they lift that law off, you can have brew pub any place, anywhere.
Are you allowed to legally sell it?
Exactly. So that means now if I want to set up the second breweries, not 4 years, but I think I can achieve within 9 to 12 months.
Wow.
If I want to, but I will leave that opportunity for others because I don't want to dominate the whole thing because my concept is about a little star, but many little star. But you need to take care of your own.
That's a very good concept. As we're wrapping up, finishing up, I just want to say I like your embracing of the word chit, because in English, obviously, chit is a bit of a funny word for a lot of foreigners who are not familiar with the Thai language. But I like your slogan for this place. It's a good chit.
It's a good chit. And there's a story behind it.
Yeah?
Yes. Because I think 6 years ago, he must be American. And he drink my beer at the White House. And he said, "Hey, Chit, come here. Do you have motto?" I say, "No." "Oh, I give you one."
Oh, yeah?
It's a good chit.
It's good chit.
So that night, I write him back, "Hey man, which one? SHIT or CHIT?" And he said, "No, not that shit, your shit." And I think shit happened.
Shit happens.
Shit happened in Thailand.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Khun Chit. It was a pleasure to meet you, and thank you very much. I know you're busy. You've got a bunch of students coming here soon. And for anyone who's listening who hasn't been up to Kokret, I mean, Kokret is a wonderful place by itself, but I highly recommend coming up to Chit Beer and having a wonderful pint with this great view overlooking the river. It's a hell of a way to spend an afternoon and surrounded by good people, led by the North Star, Khun Chit. So thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Greg, for having me on.
Thank you, Khun Chit. I have a lot of admiration for what you do.
I think after this, we continue.
Yeah, I can have another beer, sure. Continued success, sir.
Okay, all
and
right.
best
I
of luck.
accept your challenge.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Man, the whole Godfather experience is so cool. I mean, I know you're a fan of bike rides up there. I'm embarrassed to say I think I've only done one. So I've only been to Chit Pier once, and it was a few years ago. I got to get back there, man.
It's a great ride.
I mean, there's other reasons to go up there besides Chit Beer, but that just adds to the list of coolness. So for anyone, if you're an expat or if you're already here, checking out Godfather is worth it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, anyway, yeah, so thanks to Khun Chit for coming on the show. Many thanks. It was really, really cool to meet him. He's such a nice guy, super friendly. As you heard in the interview, he laughs all the time. He's just really approachable and friendly and cool. And anyone who goes there will do well to seek him out and shake his hand, because he's definitely a very cool dude.
What a character.
Yeah, he's great. So thank you, Khun Chit, for coming on the show. And hopefully within the very near future, we will be able to chat again when I go back up to Kokret for some nice, that stout was good.
I'm
I
sure.
gotta say, morning stout, I'm a fan.
Some good carbs. Those are good carbs.
Better not make it a habit. All right, well, let's get into some love, loathe, or live with, where one of us picks a particular aspect of life in Bangkok, which we then discuss and decide if it's something we love about living here, loathe about living here, or have come to accept as something that we just have to learn to live with no matter how we feel about it. And this week it is my turn to see what you think about this, Ed.
Okay.
All right. You are a vegetarian, but do you eat fish?
Nope.
No. Okay. Well, you used to eat fish.
I did, of course.
So you
a lot.
probably know what I'm talking about now.
Sure.
I really like this, but I was just talking to someone the other day who surprised me by saying they hate it. And I am talking about yum pladuk phu. That's the shredded fried catfish that they serve with peanuts and mango sauce.
Well, I haven't eaten fish in the last few years, but I did. It's funny. This is weird. It's funny. When I came to Thailand, I was a vegetarian, and I was a vegetarian for 4 years. Then I dropped it, and then I spent about 10 or 12 years eating everything. And then I got back on the bandwagon. So I've got more than 10 years of eating everything in Thailand. And I got to say, I don't like that stuff.
Yum
because it's
pladuk
like, I don't even know what it was called, but I know what you're talking about. And the one thing I don't like about it is it's not like fried fish meat. It's more like there's a lot of like skin in there and weird.
Yeah, for our
weirdness.
listeners that don't know, it's shredded fried catfish.
Yeah, it's shredded fried catfish, but they just shred the whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm sure they take the bones. They take the bones out, but I mean they shred the whole thing. So I mean there's like fish skin and fish scales in there.
Yeah, but I'm really picky when it comes to fish. Like really picky, but I love this stuff.
Oh,
and
really?
They usually give you this like really good mango sauce to pour on it with peanuts and stuff. God, it's
True
really
that.
good.
Yeah, the sauce is good, no doubt.
Yeah, and the best yum pladuk pho I've ever had in Thailand is in the police station canteen at the police headquarters just across from Central World.
Interesting.
Really
Oddly, I've been there with you like once, like back in the day. I remember once we were going to meet for lunch and you wanted to go there. And I was like, why would you want to go to the canteen in the police? What is it? The police general hospital? Is that what it is?
No, it's next to the hospital. It's the police headquarters. Like the
Yeah, right. I remember this distinctly. You're like, let's meet over there. And I'm like, why would you want to go there?
It's just interesting sitting down there surrounded by hundreds of cops.
Yeah.
You know you're safe.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't bad. Whatever I ate that day wasn't bad at all.
Well, I probably had yum pladuk pho when I was there because I love it. I'm solid love on this one.
Well, I mean, it's not like I can't say like I loathe it with a passion, but I can't really. Basically, it's something that I would never eat if I had a choice. So I'm gonna have to go loathe. It's a mild. I'm gonna go mild loathe.
All right, fair enough.
All right. So as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we'd like to say thank you to Vincent Scully for lending us his support at the show's shout-out level. And Greg, what did you find out about Vincent?
All right. Well, actually, before we get into Vincent, I want to give a real quick shout out to two of our patrons who have signed up for a shout out, Steve and John. Steve and John, I've sent you a couple of messages, a couple of emails, but I haven't heard back. And if you don't write back, of course, I can't give you a shout out because I don't know what to talk about. So if you're hearing this, check your junk mail because sometimes Patreon stuff goes to your junk mail and send me a message.
For sure.
All right. Back to our main man, Vincent. Well, it turns out Vincent, he lives in Jersey, New Jersey, that is, with his wife and 3 sons. And they do plan on moving to Thailand for at least a couple of years once we have enough of a passive income happening in the States, he says. He says, I've been teaching myself the Thai language slowly but surely over the past 7 years. And the thing that pisses me off is he's probably already speaks better than you and me.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about it.
That's really cool, though. If you can bring your kids to Thailand for a couple of years, like when they're in their formative years, like what an adventure that would be.
That's an adventure for sure.
Yeah. And check this out, Ed. You would like this part. He says his 4 times great-grandfather, that's great-great-great-great-grandfather, I guess, was Daniel D. Tompkins, who was vice president under James Monroe,
Wow.
senator and governor of New York. He was one of the first people to sign the bill to abolish slavery in New York State. And Tompkins Square Park in Manhattan is named after him.
Wow. I mean, I don't know that park well, but of course I know the name. Everyone knows that name. That's incredible. That's great.
Yeah. And also the thing that really stuck out to me was that Vincent said he is a tattooer by trade. Now, I'm not sure,
Cool.
listeners, I'm not sure if you know this. I've got a couple of little teeny tattoos on my wrists and on the back of my neck that I got like 19 years ago when no one had them on their wrist before everyone thought it was cool.
Wow. And I think because you did it, it caught on. I mean, people saw that you did it and then it caught on.
That's definitely what happened. They're like, I got to be like that guy. So, Ed, for the longest time, I've wanted either to cover them up or to get some new tattoos or do something cool. But I think our man, Vincent, when he comes to Thailand, he's a tattooer by trade.
Wow.
There we go.
He could be your guy.
He could be my guy. I'm gonna trust you, Vincent. I'm gonna let you tattoo me. But
It's a little bit dangerous to go to a Thai tattoo guy, even though they're highly skilled. Like, as you point out, your Thai's not very good. His English isn't very good. You never know what you might end up with a tattoo of,
Right. But what I am scared about is if Vincent's teaching himself to learn Thai, maybe he's gonna like get a bit sassy and try like, yeah, let me write a Thai word for you or something. He's gonna write like chicken bone on my arm or something like that in Thai. So.
Well, that's what your Thai wife is for, dude.
That's right. She's got to be there watching Vincent all the time. Vincent, thanks, man. Thanks for your support. And say hi to your wife and boys for us. And we'll hopefully see you here soon for a beer or a tattoo, depending on how
that would be great. That would be great.
Let's do the tattoo before the beers.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. All right. A final thanks to our patrons who support the show. Patrons get a ton of cool perks and the warm, fuzzy feeling knowing that they're helping support the show. Find out more by clicking support on our website. And connect with us online. We're Bangkok Podcast on social media, bangkokpodcast.com on the web, or simply bangkokpodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from our listeners and always reply to our messages.
Right on. You can also listen to each episode on the YouTube, so you can chat with us on the lines or even reach out to me directly on the Twitters or the Instagrams at BKKGreg. So thanks for listening, everyone. Stay safe, cover your mouth, and we'll see you back here next week.
Yes, we will.
Cover your mouth sounds a bit weird. It's a bit arbitrary and open-ended. Should have made it more specifically. Cover your mouth with a mask. Anyway.